Hi, and welcome back to Alt Baking Bootcamp, your crash course in healthier baking. I'm your host, Mia Rigden, nutritionist and the founder of Rasa. Today, we are going to be making double chocolate chip Reishi Muffins. Who wouldn't want to have this for breakfast? This recipe is gluten-free, dairy-free, refined sugar-free, and also features some elevated pantry staples and nutrition powerhouses, which we're gonna get into as we get into the recipe. To start, we're gonna make our batter, and then we're gonna let this batter rest for about an hour, and then we're gonna bake off our muffins. So, we've got 2 eggs here. We have 1/3 cup of maple syrup, so that's all the sweetness in the recipe today. And if you guys are Alt Baking Bootcamp regulars, you'll know that we use maple syrup a lot here on this show because it's an unrefined sugar that is full of vitamins and minerals of its own. So if you're gonna use sugar, why not use a sugar that also carries some health benefits to it? So we're gonna be also using 1 whole cup of milk. Today, I'm using a full-fat soy milk, but you could use any non-dairy, or if you wanna use a dairy milk that you have at home. Instead of using butter or coconut oil today, we're gonna be using avocado oil, which is a really wonderful neutral oil that has an extremely high smoke point. So this is great for cooking with or baking with because as the oil heats up, it won't burn, which means it goes rancid. So I love avocado oil. It does not taste like avocado. I love avocado, but maybe not in this recipe. And then 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So now I'm gonna whisk this all together. As I mentioned, this recipe is gluten-free, so we are gonna be using 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose gluten-free flour. We love using gluten-free all-purpose baking flour here at Alt Baking Bootcamp because it substitutes 1-to-1 with regular flour, so it's just super easy. And then they wouldn't be double chocolate chip muffins if they didn't have cacao. As I've said many times on Alt Baking Bootcamp, in my opinion, chocolate is a health food. So cacao is full of antioxidants, it's a known mood booster, and as we all know, it tastes delicious. So this is 2/3 cup of unsweetened cacao powder, and then we've got a tablespoon of baking soda and baking powder. I think one thing I always struggled with making muffins at home is getting that muffin top and getting them to rise. It's really difficult, and I've found that adding both baking soda and baking powder really helps to get that lift that we're looking for when we're making muffins. And now we are going to add in some reishi. So reishi is an adaptogenic mushroom that is known for its immune boosting properties and really can help you focus. I like the use of adaptogens, which literally help your body adapt to the physiological response to stress. But the thing with adaptogens is that in order for them to be really effective, I would use them daily. So you could put this in your coffee, in your tea, your smoothie, mix with water. Here we are mixing it with muffins. And then we're gonna add in some instant coffee too, because why not supercharge these guys? Coffee and chocolate just are such a wonderful combination. And if you're having these in the morning, why not have a little extra jolt of caffeine in there? And then just a little sprinkle of salt. I'm gonna mix this together. Now I am going to slowly mix in the dry ingredients into the wet. Look at that. We are almost done. We just have one final key ingredient, the chocolate chips. Got a bag of these chocolate baking gems right here, which I'm obsessed with, but you could use any chocolate chip for this recipe. So we're gonna put in a cup. That looks good. And then we're gonna let this sit for about an hour. You could have it sit overnight if that's easier for you. And then we'll portion out our muffins and bake them. So our batter has been sitting for about an hour, which is really important so that we can get these muffins to get the height in the oven that we want them to and rise and get that nice muffin top that everyone wants out of a homemade muffin. So I've got a muffin pan right here that I've already lined with muffin liners. And I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. So we're gonna portion out the muffins evenly across the pan, and then we're gonna top them with some coconut sugar, and that's going to caramelize in the oven, and it's gonna add a little crispiness and some sweetness and just make them a little bit more delicious. All right, there we go. So these look great. I'm gonna throw these in the oven, which is already set to 350 degrees for about 15 to 18 minutes. All right, these look great. You can see that they've got a little height to them. They've got a really nice muffin top, which is what we were going for here. We're just gonna let these cool for a few minutes, and then we're gonna try them. They are so chocolatey. This with a cup of coffee, perfect little breakfast treat. For all those chocolate chip muffin fans out there, this is a great gluten-free, dairy-free version that has a little extra boost with some coffee and some reishi powder to satisfy those mornings when you want a little chocolate treat. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Alt Baking Bootcamp. I can't wait for you guys to try this recipe. Let me know if you have any questions or how your chocolate chip muffins turned out in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.